Joe Shalaby, your host for the Coffeez for Closers podcast, presented by EMC Studios. Thank you very much. I have an extraordinary guest today, Mr. Mindset Guy himself, Justin Ho. The reason why I chose Justin to come here on the second episode of Coffeez for Closers is the following. Now, you're not going to believe me, but this is some extraordinary stuff. He is only 19 years old. He has amassed over 1.2 million organic followers in the duration of 6 months. His content has already gotten him over 1 billion views. This kid is crushing social media. We want to dive deep into why this is happening, his strategies, what is driving this force, how we can implement his strategies into our business, and how we can implement immediately.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to dive into it. So right now, you got this new business that you started. You're also a full-time student.
Yes, sir.
And now you got clients.
Yes, sir.
And you're flying back from here to Taiwan. First off, how are you juggling all this? How are you making this all work? How are you able to fit the school thing in, the business thing in, the content creation, the content strategy?
Absolutely, yeah. So, actually, to be honest with you, after I became really good with all this stuff with content and everything, like, school hasn't been too much of a priority. But, like, the way I would say I juggle everything is because I have such a big passion for, like, you know, studying the algorithm, like helping business owners, just really helping people go viral in general. 75% of my time is like catered towards this. And then like, you know, 25% is like, obviously like, you know, yes, I'm on the grind, but it's like, you need to balance your life as well. You need to like have some fun. But like my fun is honestly just like studying business, doing just more things that are going to benefit myself, like reading a book, all the things that honestly like, I feel like most college students like might not enjoy. Like, you know, a lot of people, especially like a lot of the peers I meet on campus, like these guys or girls, they're just going out, you know, having fun partying. And like, that's cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, for me, myself, like, I'm not about that, you know, I'm about like literally just like focusing on myself, my goals, and like knowing that it's about the long-term game, not the short-term, right? Because like, yes, we can have the fun now, but it's like, for me, it would feel nicer if I actually like, worked on myself for maybe a year or two, really went through like hell, and then like actually then became successful to then enjoy myself and like live a financially free life and just be able to travel the world and like do whatever I want. But yeah, that's pretty much what all I do is just school and then this for the most part. And then I just been a content creator for about a year now. So yeah, it's really changed my life.
Your content creation, honestly, is next level. You're a prodigy, and it's really a blessing to be along for the journey. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that you have some big things in mind, and right now, the decisions you're making way beyond your years. This guy is only 19 years old, guys. 19 years old. He's thinking like a 30-year-old man, but he's 19. He's making decisions as an adult who has a family, who has a mortgage, who knows that these responsibilities ahead of him are really what set him apart. So kudos to you, my man.
Thank you. Yes.
Kudos to you. You're crushing it. I'm proud of you. And God bless you and continue to enable you to have that winning mentality and overcome any and all obstacles in front of you. What are you doing right now to really like make your content different? What's setting you aside from all the other content creators?
Okay, so there's a lot of things like when it comes to like mastering content, but like what's worked for me specifically, and also how I was able to like jump from like literally 0 to 1 million followers in like less than half a year. I would say the biggest thing is one, well, you need to be original, right? So like you see a lot of creators out there, like, yes, they're going viral, but it's like, what are they known for? You know, like they might just be copying trends. They might just be copying other people's ideas. And like, sure, that's going to get you numbers, but it's like, no one's going to remember you, right? Like, you know, Mr. Beast, obviously. Mr. Beast, he's one of the biggest creators, if not the biggest creator right now on the market. And what makes him so good is, one, he's super original, but two, the thing I want to emphasize on here is the way he actually structures his videos around the viewers or his subscribers. And so what that means is like the way I grew really fast, right, is I basically made videos that were around the followers, right? So for example, like you ever heard that saying, it's like customer comes first, right? Like for restaurants and all that. Well, same thing that applies with content creation, right? When you make a video so surrounded around like the viewer or like the follower, it kind of makes me be like, oh my gosh, like I should subscribe or I should follow this guy. Like he's really putting us first, right? So Mr. Beast, right? You notice like in every single one of his videos, there's always like a subscriber in the challengers, and it's because he wants to make it known. It's like, if you subscribe to me, you could be this next person on my show. You could be the next person to win $10,000, $100,000, however much, right? And it's like at the end of the day, following that person is free. It doesn't cost them it doesn't cost them a penny at all, right? And two, like, it's an entertaining video, right? So like, you can give a lot of value, but you also want to be entertaining. And so like the specific example I would give on like how I actually got so many followers was, I literally made this video where I asked people, do you follow the Mindset Guy, which is me, right? And instead of like, because I've seen people do this before, but like, I thought to myself, I was like, what, the way I can make it different is like, what if like, obviously I don't have like $10,000 to give out, right? But what if I like instead stacked up like valuable items on a shopping cart, or like a cart I was just pushing around. And so like, I started with like a big TV. And then like the next clip would be of me being like, all right, we're going to add a PlayStation, and we're going to add like an iPhone, an iPad. And it got to a point where like, there were so many items on the cart. Everyone in the comments was like, oh my gosh, like, who's he going to give it to? I follow you. Like, you should come here, right? But I would say, like, that's mainly, like, what made me go super viral also, was because I put so much value on the viewer. It's like, hey, just by following me, you could get all this stuff here, right? And, like, I feel like a lot of people lack that. It's like, they don't understand, like, putting value in front, or, like, valuing the viewer is gonna make them grow exponentially, right? It's because it really shows all, because your viewers and your followers, they know like when you're bullshitting them, right? Like they know like, oh, he's not putting in effort, like he doesn't care about us. But like Mr. Beast, that's why if you look at his comments, there's always like people saying Mr. Beast or Jimmy doesn't fail to make another great video, always valuing us, like he really puts us first. You'll see the comments, and it's like, that's what I'm trying to do, is that's what I'm trying to aim for, is like really put value around the viewer and the follower instead of just like me, right? Because like nobody at the end of the day, like especially when you start out, it's like nobody's gonna give a shit about you unless you do something that's gonna basically provide value, right? Because they're gonna ask like, why should I watch this video? Is it worth my time? And it's like, you want to answer that question always. So that's at least what I try to do, and I think that's what helped me grow like a lot.
Providing value is the most important part.
Absolutely. Yes.
Of social content creation.
Right.
And not only are you providing value, but I think that you've done that's unique is you're providing inspiration now.
Uh-huh.
You're trying to inspire, and that's the next level
Right.
content creation. Walk me through the journey of like why you're choosing to inspire and why you're using that strategy.
Actually, it's funny. So the way like this whole, because actually it's funny, every time someone asks me like why you call the Mindset Guy, or like what made you come up with this name, I always tell them that I actually started out as a motivational speaker in high school, right? And I remember it was like my senior year, right? And now I'm a college student, obviously, but like senior year of high school, that's when like the pandemic was hitting. Like a lot of people were like depressed, they were discouraged. And actually, it's funny enough, I was actually pretty insecure myself. Like I didn't really know how to be confident and all that. You know, David Goggins, like those guys that do motivational speaking. Like I was like, yo, like that'd be cool to like try it out, right? So I just one day, I kid you not, I picked up my phone. I remember I was sitting in my gaming chair at my dad's house, and I was literally just like, all right, I'm gonna pick up the phone and just say like, hey, happy Wednesday, guys. Hope you're doing well. I sent it to a couple of friends, and they really liked it, right? So I was like, oh, cool, I'll keep doing this. I ended up making like a whole private story for this on Snapchat, and like I ended up just doing this for like every single day until school started again. But I remember it got so popular that a lot of kids at school were like, hey, Justin, like this is really great what you're doing. You should keep it up. And I don't know if they were like messing with me or joking around, but like even if they were, I didn't really care because I was like, this is really cool. I like doing this, right? And I remember one day, one of my best friends, he was like, you need to start a club here at this school called the Mindset Club. And I was like, okay, sure, why not, right? And so, long story short, you know, the process of me actually trying to create this club is what made me come up with the name The Mindset Guy. And here's why. Because, you know, most of these kids, when they apply to create a club, it's pretty simple, the process, right? You maybe fill out an application, you submit it to the vice principal, and then he tells you in a couple of days whether or not it's approved, right? In my case, it wasn't approved the first time, not even the second time, or the third time, right? It was a fourth time that it was approved. And throughout my journey of trying to get it approved, right, I think I came across a little I came across a lot of mental challenges of like trying to get this approved. But it was really one turning point that made me like realize I need to keep going. And so one day when I was about to quit doing everything, there's this girl, right? She has like a disability, and like I remember she came up to me. She was like, "Hey, Justin, like, you know, really love the mindset videos. Like, oh, could you give me some advice on how to like make some new friends? Because I'm having a hard time, right? And like, honestly, it wasn't even much what I said. But after that, I remember she started crying. And like, that's like the day I realized I was like, you know what? Like, I have to keep going for people like this. Like, I can't stop, right? And that's honestly where I got the idea of like putting so much value around the person. And so I revamped my entire application. When I submitted it for the fourth time, it got approved. And that day, I have a picture I can send you after this. It was like at my whole club, like literally half the school came to this first meeting because they were also inspired of like how it took me like months versus like a couple weeks. And for most students, it would take a couple of weeks, but like for me, it took a long time. It's the fact that I even persisted and didn't give up. That's what made it stand out a lot. And that's what made me actually later get the name The Mindset Guy, is because like when I went to college and I started doing TikTok and everything, people saw the videos. And instead of, because my original username, I don't know if you knew this, but it was called the Mindset of Justin Ho, right? But it was like, that's kind of like hard, not hard to pronounce, but it's like, that doesn't really like get your attention, right? People just started saying, hey, you're that mindset guy. And it got repeated so much that I was like, okay, maybe I should just change my name to The Mindset Guy. It sounds better anyway. So that's why I became The Mindset Guy. And ever since that day, I just kept the name. Here we are. Yeah.
Great story behind it. I mean, to be a motivational speaker at 15 years old,
it was like,
yeah, you're winning. You're going to be winning in life. Keep that motivation, keep that mindset. Now, what everybody wants to know is like, what are you going to be doing for 2024? Like, what's the 2024 strategy? What's the 2024 goals? How much do you want to grow in 2024, 2025, and beyond?
I would say my goal for, so like I have a couple of goals. My biggest goal, I want to really master this algorithm. And like, I want to become that guy. You hear like my name, everyone's going to be like, oh, Justin Ho, he's like the algorithmic genius. Like you need help with going viral, like any business owners, coaches, whatever. This is the guy to go to, right? And it's like, I'm going to be known for that person that has helped like hundreds of companies, personal brands, literally just that guy that when it comes to knowing the algorithm and actually going viral. So I would say that's my main goal. And, you know, my other goals, I would say, is just like growing more followers, subscribers, and all that. I want to actually just grow 100,000 subscribers off my other YouTube channel, just off of long form content. Because I already got like 200-something thousand off short form. But like long form is a whole different game. Like that's actually something I'm trying to master still, is like the long form game of YouTube. And so I think like once I get really good at long form, like I'm going to actually become really good at content. One thing I realized is that like when it comes to like content, it's like basically sales but through video. In my opinion, I think if you're really good at copywriting and like script writing, you'll become a very good content creator. Or like if you're really good at sales in general, you can become a really good content creator. But yeah, that's my primary goal, is to just become like literally that guy when it comes to going viral that anyone can just go to. And I can be like, all right, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then they're going to be viral in like a month or so from that day.
I would love that to be a reality about going viral. And I wish that you can really, truly master the algorithm or be an algorithm genius or prodigy. And obviously want that for EMC and
yes, sir.
EMC Studios and
E-Mortgage Capital, baby. We're going to the top.
Yeah, that, you know, I want that for every loan officer at EMC and all of our EMC partners. So, you know, there's a lot of people to fulfill that need for within just our ecosystem. In addition to all the people who are probably going to be calling you
right.
after this. So
yeah, absolutely.
This guy's running a schedule already that's like time blocked down to the minute.
Yes,
I love it. You know, I love it. You're already busy. We're gonna make this fast. We're gonna expedite the closing here. Let's just get some tactical advice. People who are new to social media. Okay. What do you recommend that they do right now to take some action?
For like someone, like you're saying, like someone that's like zero experience, like maybe like they want to get
zero to very low, no experience.
For anyone starting out that's creating content, I would say the number one thing, and you probably heard this before, but honestly, you got to stay consistent. Because like a lot of my friends, right, they're always like, oh, Justin, how do I get started? Or how do I go viral? And like I help them, right? And it's like, then they quit after a month. And I'm like, dude, like this took me a year. Like this isn't like an overnight thing, right? And like most people,
but even after a year.
Yeah, even after a year, like they stop, right? And it's like most people don't realize the amount of like effort you need to put into this. And like this isn't some like get rich quick scheme, right? It's like actually like you gotta put in the work. But the number one advice I would give, not just consistency, but when you first start out, anyone that's actually starting out with zero experience, you need to just push out as many videos as possible. And like, people have said like quality over quantity. I think that applies later down the line when you've actually become really good at content. When you first start out, you need to be pushing out as many videos as possible, because I like to say, but content creation is all about experimentation, right? The more you post, the more ideas you're gonna see what works and what doesn't work, right? Because it's, at the end of the day, it's like a sport, right? You play basketball. If you don't play as much basketball as like the other guys are, you're not gonna do as well, right, in the game. So it's like the same thing here. Like, the more videos you post, the more you're gonna see, okay, this is what I need to get better at. This is what's not working clearly. What can I do better next time, right? Like when I was first starting out, I literally transitioned from like talking about like motivation in these videos holding my phone to then doing like these interviews and then like doing like wholesome content. Like it's an evolution, right? Like Mr. Beast, I don't know if you've seen his channel like way in the beginning, but he used to do like gaming videos, like literally like computer PC games, and like that's obviously way different from what he does now, right? Like you see the quality of his videos, it's ridiculous, it's mind blowing. But like Mr. Beast, when he was starting out on YouTube, he was posting like every day or every week, and like he obviously from doing that, he saw a pattern of what works and what doesn't, and then he just basically fine tuned that video to make it even better. And then when you get so good like him, you could take a month off or 2 months off and you still provide the best video ever. And then as long as your quality is evolving, that's what's gonna really get the viewer or subscriber's attention. It's because they're gonna be like, oh, like for example, like you, like they'll be like, oh, Joe's actually trying to put in effort. He's actually trying to like get better with this, not just like minimum amount of effort, right? Like he's actually putting in effort, and like people see that. So quantity over quality when you first start out, but when you get better, quality over quantity. Yeah, that's what I would say is the number one thing.
All right. That's really great wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Because it's hard to produce good quality in the beginning. It's hard.
Right, and plus when you make more money, like as you become a better content creator, you can literally put all that back into the videos and make them even better, right? Like I bet you Mr. Beast, I don't know the exact numbers, but he probably spends like $100,000 on one video alone because he knows he's gonna get that ROI, and plus like he knows like the amount, like he has to live up to that expectation of every single video needs to be super high quality. So yeah, that's like the advice I would say, I guess.
I love it. I love it. You gave great advice today. You helped a lot of people get better at social media, at content creation, at, just creating ideas for their future content and their content strategies. So you've been a huge help. Thank you for being our guest here at the Coffeez for Closers podcast. Even though you don't drink coffee,
water.
This is water.
Water.
Cheers to you. And we appreciate everybody who got the opportunity to watch this today. God bless you guys. And we'll check you on the next episode.